Let's take a look at topic 8.1. We're going to start by understanding statistical questions. So we're given two different questions. In what month is your birthday? And what month has the most birthdays of students at your school? So what is the difference between the two questions? Well, if I just ask you that first question, you're going to have one answer. I'm going to get one piece of information. If we go with question number 2, I'm going to be asking many different students, and I'm going to get a lot of information back. So question 2 is what we call a statistical question. It can be answered by collecting many pieces of information, which is our data, and then summarizing the data. And now let's take a look at these two graphs. On the left, we have distance traveled to school. It's based on student age, distance. On the right, we have travel time at 20 miles per hour, comparing distance to time. So if we take a look at those, now that graph on the left, that's a scatter plot. And the question that would have been asked is, how far do you travel to get to school? Now this one is a statistical question because we're gathering information and summarizing it. If you look to the one at the right, the travel time, well, that answers the question, how long does it take to travel X miles at 20 miles per hour? Well, that's kind of got a predetermined answer. All we have to do is plug in the distance, our miles, and we're going to kick out that time. So that's predetermined. So therefore, it is not a statistical question. Let's take a look at our try-its. Go ahead and read these. You can pause the video, see what you think, and then come on back and we'll discuss them. So in A, which is the most popular visual art form? Photography, painting, sculpting, or drawing? That one is a statistical question because we are gathering many different pieces of information and we be summarizing them. On B, how many lithographs were created by the artist M.C. Escher? There's only going to be one answer to that question. Therefore, it is not a statistical question. And now let's take a look at example 2. We're going to understand statistical variables. So what type of statistical variable is represented by the following question and corresponding chart? What is your favorite summer Olympic sport? We have track and field, basketball, swimming, and gymnastics. Those are all categories. So a statistical variable is a quantity or quality that can be measured or counted and for which data are expected to differ from one observation to another. We're going to have categorical and quantitative. This one is categories. Categories focus more on attributes. They're more qualitative. Favorite colors would fall into a categorical variable. And then we'd have what's called quantitative. And quantitative deals with numbers. And in this example, what is the typical number of apps a teenager has on a smartphone? Notice you can count those. You can count those. You can perform mathematical operations on that data. Therefore, that is quantitative. That is a quantitative variable. And now let's take a look at our try. And again, you might want to pause the video, see if you can answer these questions on your own, and then come back and check. So what breed of dog is most likely to be adopted from an animal shelter? So the variable, the statistical variable is right here, breed of dog. And that would fall into a category. If we look at B, what is the average number of students per activity participating in after-school activities at Jefferson High? Well, the statistical variable, average number of students. So now we're talking a number of students. That is going to be quantitative. That answer is going to be in numerical form.